Everything you want in this life takes time. If it is good, it takes time. It takes effort. But the question now is, when you know it takes time and effort, what are you doing? The reason I'm making this video is because I was talking to a student, and normally when you're talking to your student, you're asking questions to understand what their problem is, and he has figured that smoking has been disturbing his progress in life. I said, okay, so why can't you stop smoking? He says because he lacks discipline. And I'm like, why do you think he lacks discipline? Because he doesn't know. He just feels like he's not disciplined enough. So okay, no problems. Let's figure out what can make you disciplined. And he's currently on a path right now, and it's working for him. If you understand the concept in this video, I'll give you the 3 tips that change his idea and approach to discipline. And the one word I told him to always hold to his chest dearly. You see, when we say everything takes time, the problem now is that we live in a world of instant gratification, right? To the point where even though we want something that's coming instantly, we still want to feel like we are doing something. We still want to distract ourselves from the current reality. So how do we do it? Even if it's to grab a cup of coffee and the coffee is just delayed by 2 minutes, we bring out our phones and guess what? We're distracted. And yet, we want to be disciplined. See, the honest truth is that everybody has the potential to be disciplined. But the thing is that they miss the key ingredients of discipline. They completely miss it. Discipline is not what you do when you feel motivated. Nah, it's not what you do when you feel motivated. Discipline is what you do when you give yourself a command and you follow through with that command. Right? That itself is willpower, because willpower and discipline are synonymous. Think about it. You cannot control the entire world. You cannot control anything in this world, but the area of yourself which is supposed to be in your control, you cannot control. And the world is in shit right now, when we are seeing people who cannot control themselves trying to control other people. This reminds me of this saying that you're trying to remove the speck, the little problem in somebody's life. Meanwhile, you have a very big problem in your front, which is you are not even self-disciplined in the first place. But you're trying to fix the world. Think about how possible is that? Trying to fix someone's life when your life is not yet fixed. It just leads to further chaos. And one thing you got to realize is the fact that how you do one thing is how you do everything in every area of your life. So there's a reason that being disciplined in one area is powerful. Now, the main reason that people are not disciplined is because, one, they don't even know why they should be disciplined. And I always tell people that when somebody is not doing something, look at the reward for doing it and look at the risk for doing it. So look at it. Why are people not disciplined? Because, one, they don't have a reason to be disciplined in the first place. So how do you solve that? So if you know that the reason people are not disciplined is because, one, they don't even know why they should be disciplined, which is the first ingredient. Second thing now is that they are distracted. The second reason people don't want to be disciplined, they have this idea of instant gratification. We live in an economy where if you put the word instant in front of in any message, automatically people just assume that it's of better value. People assume that it will help them further. We live in a world where literally people can't even wait for 2 minutes coffee. Guess what? They bring the machines and get it ready in 60 seconds. Everybody's business is competing to be more effective simply because they are wiring us to be with this microwave mentality. The irony is we literally can break up from a relationship right now, get into another one within 30 minutes if you have the good charisma, if you have the good raise. Right? Guess what? Because of what? Instant gratification. That delay of getting someone's feedback. That excitement of delaying the feedback from a girl is gone, completely gone. Why? Because online dating and online texting, instant messaging has completely ruined it. So the first step to become disciplined is, first of all, to have a why. Because if you have a why, you have a very powerful motivation. Think about it. If you had only just one sibling, right? Maybe a sister who was like, maybe hypothetically speaking, maybe you were 16 or 18 right now, and you have a sister who is 4. You have just lost your mom, right? Your dad is out of the picture, and now you have to provide. You see yourself as somebody who has to provide for your junior sister, right? And you have to work as hard as hell to provide for her. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you know how powerful it will move you if you really want to provide for your sister using your sweat? Do you know how powerful it is? Have you ever seen why people say things like they had a daughter and that daughter made them to double down on They had a child rather, and that child made them to double down on their efforts because they had a very strong why. And if you ever wonder, if you look at the top leaders, and whether I like it or not, you see this whole idea of motivation, because people wait for motivation to do something, like to change their life, to fix their life. But if you look at it, motivation can only get you to start. But guess what? Discipline keeps you going. And if you have a very strong why, and you remember that why, whenever you don't feel like doing it, you will do it. So sometimes I don't feel like creating content, but knowing that I'm showing up for my students, right? I create the content, I create that idea, I put it out there because I know my why. I have a very strong sense of why. Whenever I see somebody, whenever I see men who don't have their life together, it reminds me of why I should follow up on those guys. Why I should help other people, because why we live in a world and people don't realize that if the men are not okay, automatically the women will go to shit. And it's quite a pity that people don't get this thing even till this day. They focused on the women for what? For decades. Now we literally have seen women saying that okay, fine. Now their lives are sorted out. Where are the men? Some people even say, where are the good men? I mean, I may have digressed, but you get my point, right? That if you have a very strong why, and like Nietzsche said, who has a strong why, he who knows why can bear anyhow. That is the point. Even though it takes 5 years, 10 years, if you have a very strong why, it's going to keep you on track. The second problem is distractions. How to eliminate the distractions. Your phone, your instant gratification is, first of all, is to get rid of all distractions. Design your life in a way that you are preparing for distractions. Where you know that, because whether I like it or not, distractions will come from every single direction. Peer pressure, your friends will laugh at you, your friends will call you out. But if you keep visiting your why over and over again, you will get to realize that those distractions don't even matter at all. Think about it. You're working on your project. You're trying to help your sister provide for the family. You're buying her stuff. You have to buy groceries and still take care of yourself. Guess what? Peer pressure won't even matter in such a situation because you have a very strong why. But let's be honest, most people can't have that why immediately. You can have it immediately, but at least if you design your environment where you're taking care of distractions, right, and temptations, because whether you like it or not, the more focused you get, the higher your temptations. And that's a very harsh reality. And if you don't know how to get rid of temptations, you are never going anywhere in life. If you never plan for a way to get rid of them. And one way of getting rid of them is by saying no. Like, no. So what I always say is, my mantra is, if it's not a yes, like a 90% to 100% yes, it's a no. And even this mindset has helped me, even in my dating life, in my relationship life, and I'm talking to people, right? A particular lady, and she doesn't have up to 7/10. I'm not following up on her anymore. And that's the real secret. That's the real secret to having a proper relationship with women. If she's not with you, right? If she's not deep into you, yes, you can raise the level of attraction, right? But I think I have way more women that can do that with because of how much I've built myself. But if she's not way into you, if it's not a super yes, then give it a no. This is how you basically eliminate all sorts of distractions. If you don't see how it fits into your plan, into your vision, it's a no. And whether I like it or not, this mindset will change every single area of your life. If you're attracting women, right, and you feel like the women you're attracting are not what you want, it's simple. It's because you're distracted, right? You are saying no to things that you think you want, which is even a bigger problem, because when people don't know what they want, guess what? They say yes to things that they don't even want in the first place. Some people don't want to drink, some people don't want to smoke, genuinely. But guess what? Because they have nothing doing, they do it as a way of distracting themselves, passing away time. There's a saying that the devil tempts every man, but the ideal man tempts the devil. That saying is super powerful because we see it every single time. Whenever I have my students that are not doing shit, I always tell them that you do realize that you are prone to a shit ton of problems. Obviously, these are guys, when they come into the program newly, that is what they get. Another thing I say is, your attitude also influences your discipline. Because there are people, I always say things that never, ever say things that make you weak. Because whether you like it or not, the law of attraction is real. 1, 2, how you see yourself is very important. If you see yourself as somebody who cannot give yourself commands, you have a very big problem. When you say things like, oh, I can't be disciplined, I can't stop this, automatically, guess what? Your attitude towards it will make you fail. If you think you can't stop smoking, You take up the identity of somebody who is smoking. And the last tip is try to bake that. Okay, sorry. The second step was to commit to action. Your third step was to design your life in such a way that you are fixing and you are improving every area of your life. You are eliminating distractions. So the tips here are simple. The first step is to have a very strong why. A strong why is a very strong source of motivation. Motivation itself is fleeting, but if you have a strong sense of why, a why that is logical and emotional. If your why does not charge you up, trust me, it's a very weak why, right? It's not a strong one. But if it makes strong sense to you and it's deeply rooted, because like I've said, one of my strong whys is to get men to get their shit together. It's a very strong why because I grew up in a family of four boys, and for some weird reasons. And obviously, I'm also from Nigeria, where we have a shit ton of youths that are lost. They are lost in whatever it is that they are being lost in. Right? They don't have an orientation for life. They need someone to help them get their shit together. So I have a very strong one, and it charges me up. It's logical to me, right? At the same time, it's emotional because each time I remember it, I remember how many people I'm helping. It gives me thrills, or it gives me goosebumps on my skin. Second step is I commit to action immediately. And something that's damaging here is this idea of massive action. I say no, don't get into massive action because it's not going to help you. What you should do is look for the actions you can commit to and progress them over time. Because what you want is a lifestyle change. You don't want a temporary fix or a quick fix. That's not getting anywhere. So baking it into your lifestyle is better because I've seen people who say, okay, you know what? I want to get to the gym. Let me spend 4 hours in the gym. That won't save you. But if you find a way to if you have a strong why you should be at the gym, right? Because for most people, they kind of realize that they have shitty bodies and their shitty bodies have caused them a lot. Right? Sometimes it's health. So look for a way to bake that thing into your lifestyle, right? So take it slowly, take it progressively, and increase the commitment to action as you go. Your third tip is to design your life in such a way that you automatically get rid of distractions. You get rid of peer pressure. You get rid of any stupid things that you feel like will hinder your progress towards discipline. Right? And that's it. But the last thing I should tell you about discipline is that people often see discipline as a prison itself. I say no. Discipline is saying no to things that you don't want to do, so you can do the things you really want to do. Unlike people who are not disciplined, who say yes to things that they don't want to do, but it's costing them things that they truly want to do. If you can go back and listen to that thing over and over again, you get my point. So discipline or self-discipline is not a prison. And lastly, the one word that will get to discipline is obsession. If you have a goal, which is your why, and you are very obsessed about that why, one thing you will realize is your life will begin to just reorientate itself. Things will just feel different. It's become easier to do things simply because you are obsessed about getting those things done. So if you made it this far in this video, it's obvious that you're somebody who has seen a why to get discipline. We can talk. But before we talk, if you don't feel like talking, share this video. Right? Let's talk in the comment section, but share this video with somebody who you know needs discipline, because the more guys you can get to be disciplined, the faster we fix the world, because the world right now is in complete shit, complete chaos. And talk to you very soon. Bye for now. You're the best.